All right. So, like I promised, this is going to be short and to the point. Whoever comes in afterwards, they're just going to have to catch up. Everyone else is going to have to watch the replay. But I wanted to have this chat just in case anyone has any questions about what's going to be happening in Boss Club for those who have already signed up, and for those who may be thinking about signing up, and for those people who have they have schools or they have access to youth that they could spread this information on to help us get this message out. Because we don't want Boss Club, we never want Boss Club to be something that's just like seems like it's attached to a certain group. We want to make sure that people all over the island knows that this is an open opportunity for everyone. So here we are tonight with our meet and chat. Usually we would have this earlier in the year, but this year life been life, and so we just rolling with it and trying not to miss anyone out. If you have questions that you want to put in the chat, you can. And once we get to question and answer section, then we will go over them. So quickly, what are we doing at Boss Club? Now, our goal, this is our mission statement. We are empowering generations through entrepreneurship, but we're doing it one student at a time. And why we say generation is because even though we target high school students, the goal is actually to put this information in households so that not just high school students have a chance to benefit from what we're teaching, but families could work together using the skills and the knowledge that we are teaching. One of the things that always gets me chuckling a little bit is when we have one student that comes in, and then when the younger sibling is finally able to join in the program, they be reminding their parents, now, remember now, you let my sister do it. I had this conversation with someone just a few days ago, and she was reminding her mommy, like, I'm old enough now, so you're gonna have to let me in. And so when we hear stuff like that, it's letting us know that we are doing something that is exciting and attractive to young people to get their interests piqued and get up towards what we're teaching. So for this year, every year we set a goal, and this year our goal is to impact 100 students and their families. So that is our registration goal. Right now we are at about 20% of hitting that, but we know we're going to hit that once we start doing a little bit more things in the public to let other people know what's happening. So we know we are going to hit it, but we want to make sure that the people who sign up early has information that they could use so that they could get a head start in preparing for it, because it's only 3 weeks and 3 weeks goes by very fast. So that's what we want to do. And so just a little bit about about Boss Club. We started this initiative in 2020. It started off as a collaboration between the Youth Ministry of Agape House and myself, Shamia, the owner of Borderless Creative Group. And so what we trying to do, what our mission is to actually partner with parents to teach kids entrepreneurship. So we want to partner with parents because, you know, the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. What we're saying is, let us become a part of your village. Because when I was coming up, I knew growing up that I wanted to own my business. That's what I called it. Because we weren't saying words like entrepreneurship back then. I've been out of school quite a long time now. So we just know you wanted to own a business. And that's what I knew. But there was no one around me in my immediate circle who could teach me or prepare me or equip me for that. And so what we're doing is we are becoming a part of the parents' village so that we could teach the parts that the parents don't have. We could help you come together and partner together to teach the parts that you don't have so that we could, you know, make our communities better. And so our goal is to reach 100 students this year. So now I was on LinkedIn. I went on LinkedIn to reach out to someone who is a potential partner for us training this year, actually. And as I was getting ready to sign off, I was scrolling, you know, quick scroll. And here it is. I came across this post on LinkedIn. And it's talking about this young lady who just graduated from college this year in the United States. And she says she's graduating as the owner of her school's first beauty supply shop. And I was like, wow, that's an incredible opportunity right there. So here it is. She spent her 4 years in college. She got a degree in whatever it is she got her degree in. I didn't take the time to go too deep into it, but she is coming out of college with a degree and a business. She's not going into the job market just starting from scratch. And guess what? That's not to say that maybe she wants to do something on the professional field as well, right? That's not to say that she, like I said, I didn't look it up, but that's not to say that she doesn't also want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something, but she's coming out ahead. And so these are the kind of things that we want kids to start thinking about. Like, there are so many things that you could do. There are so many opportunities that you can create, but you could start earlier than you think you need to start, right? Than you think you could start. Because you could look at these big CEOs, these big organizations, and see these owners and see them with their gray hairs. But you need to know, and parents need to know, and everyone needs to know that you can start early. So I just wanted to point that out. But also, I don't want to spend too much time talking about what's happening in the US. I like to use real life examples, right? Local examples, because these are our people. These are people who we encounter on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes we don't know exactly what they're doing. But once we hear their stories, we could use their stories to say, if they could do it, so can I. So these are some pictures from last year. Just a couple of pictures I pulled from last year, on one from the year before. The first picture at the top, that is Leah Adderley. She was one of our first Boss Club students. And listen, this young lady made the most delicious cupcakes I have ever experienced in my life, okay? It was so good that I could still taste the frosting. And she did so well in her presentation, and everything was just so great about it that even now, when people are having events, they would reach out to me and say, what's the number for the girl with the cupcakes? And when they say the girl with the cupcakes, I know exactly with who they mean, because listen, these cupcakes need to be experienced. I don't know if you ever tasted like a fruit flavored icing and it actually tastes like the fruit. I can't talk enough about it. But anyway, the next picture we have, that's Dynasty. And we have Micah. Now, Dynasty, she was one of our first year students as well. And she came again the second year. I don't know if you could see Micah. He's holding up his cash money, like real cash dollars. That's $100 bill in the front there. Some dollar bills and some other big bills in his hand. So with that, I want you to know that when you sign up to join Boss Club and you make it to the pop-up, whatever money you make, that's your money to keep. We don't take anything from you. So students are able to make real money on the spot. And then we have Taquan, like Quan here. He came into the program. I remember it was his first time joining us last year. He came in and he sat and he was very quiet. He's a thinker. He was very quiet. He didn't know what he wanted to do, but we put them together. And that's why we have the first session, which is the mentorship session, to make sure that they have something that they could work with. And as we talked about pulling out from him, like his interests and his desires, this young man ran home and decided to write a book. And he wrote a book with some poems. And by the time it's that 3 weeks is up and we were ready to go to pop up, here he was having his books on display. What's the beauty about that too is his mother is a graphic designer. She says she didn't do anything to help him except to get the books printed. And he was able to launch his book at the pop-up. And then we have Kiki at the bottom here. Now Kiki had a table set up with her family. They sold out of their waffle and chicken and waffles. They sold out because it was that good. The guava sauce. Anyway, and what she did was she went and she helped one of her friends at a table, and you could see her there. She is writing a receipt for the gifts that she sold on behalf of her friend. And this fifth picture we have here, this is Ariana Joy Roberts, who is the owner of Artistic Soul Productions, a movie and film production company here in Grand Bahama. And she was invited to be one of our guest speakers. And afterwards, the kids that were interested in that type of business, the creative field, they were able to go and get some more insight from her to see what they could do. But also I want to highlight that we had Cranston McDonald, who was a movie and a film producer as well there. And he came and he presented. And afterwards, some of these same kids who you see standing around Ariana, they connected with him afterwards. And they now going to be casted in his upcoming film. So some of them have already been casted in films as a result of meeting him. And so we wanted to show people that becoming a part of Boss Club is not just about, our mission to help you to learn entrepreneurship, but the kids get access to people who are doing amazing things and they get extended opportunities. And then this last picture is a group of siblings and the cousin, but it's a family group, and they decided to open up a snack shop on site. And so that's what they're doing right there, selling their snacks, because they knew we would be in the auditorium all day. And those who, hanging around going to need something to drink and something to snack on. And so those are just some of the ideas that the kids bring forth in the Boss Club. So right now, I want to allow Danelle Knowles to speak. She is a parent of two Boss Club students, and we're going to let her tell just a little bit about her experience with Boss Club and what she's noticing in her children.
Hi, good evening, Shamia. Good evening, parents. I am a proud mom of Boss Club. Both of my children have benefited from the Boss Club experience. The tools that they have learned through the program have allowed them to take their business ideas, which were first developed through brainstorming exercises during one of the meetup sessions, to market. The beautiful harmony of applying the theory taught through Boss Club's online learning platform, along with the 1 week boot camp coupled with the pop-up shop experience, allowed my children to put to practice all that they learned during the course of the program. I've witnessed both of my children grow as business-minded individuals who now have a greater appreciation for the mighty dollar, as they have seen firsthand the positive results that proper money management yields. They have put into practice skills like strategic business planning, setting realistic goals, and sourcing products for resale or raw materials for the production of a specialized good. They have learned how to market their business and how to engage with customers. The program is tried, tested, and in my opinion, proven to be effective. However, in order for participants to truly benefit from the program, they will need parental support, such as ensuring that all online trainings are completed, timely drop off and pick up to and from the meetup location, acquiring items for sale at the pop-up shop, assisting with setup and breakdown following the sale. The benefits of Boss Club are limitless, and the life skills that my children have walked away with have left an indelible mark. They now have an owner's mindset, and they are poised to own their Bahamas. And so it was my pleasure sharing briefly on my experience as a Boss Club mom. And I encourage you parents to just get on board and encourage your kids to put their best foot forward and make the experience the best experience ever.
Thank you, Janelle. I don't know if Robin is there with you. I don't know if she got a chance to come in the room. Is she there with you?
Yes, Robin's here.
All right, Robin.
I'll mute so that she can unmute.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Unmuted, so that's okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robin. I'm the owner and sole proprietor of R2 Gallery Supplies. So first off, I just want to talk about how I first started at Boss Club. I started back in summer 2022 after 11th grade, and the experience I had with Boss Club was honestly an enlightening experience. The many speakers and topics shared prepared me for pop-up day, and it instilled in me values of an entrepreneur that I will take with me till, you know,
Seems like we lost you there, Robin.
my apologies. I'm back. Like I said, the values and the topics shared and the things that I've learned will take me and my business beyond. So some some little topics or stuff that I've learned throughout the course of being in Boss Club include keep God first when you have a business. If you or when you start to become doubtful and forget your why, remember that you created this business from scratch and that you've worked hard and spent time to put all your effort into it. Another thing that I've learned is don't spend your money aimlessly. You have to track it. Next, no matter what school you come from, it's your mindset that counts. Another thing is, of course, don't give up and keep trying. Another thing that I would speak about is, of course, my business. My business, Art Gallery and Supplies, art selling business for is an art selling business for art supply selling business for those who wish to create artwork, and I want my business to be a place that encourages artists like myself to create more.
All right, so I think we lost you again, but I'll take over from here, Robin. Thank you so, so much for sharing. I want to just point out something else about Robin. When we first met Robin, Robin was letting us know that she, as an artist, but also as an academic, didn't ever think of being able to use her creative skills for entrepreneurship. And so I'm so proud to see that she was able to take from day one something that she's passionate about and turn it into a business. And I believe Robin is going to be a fully licensed business within the next few days, as a matter of fact. So that is something that we are so proud of, to know that Robin was able to get that inspiration from us. Yeah, so she's one of the people who we really are proud of. So I did want Laquelle Bodie to come on. She came in our first year as one of our speakers, but she had another engagement tonight. She told me I could tell a little bit about her story. Laquelle Bodie started her chocolatier business when she was in high school. She was about maybe 14 or 15. And she had asked her parents one summer if she could use her shopping money to buy supplies so she could start this business. And her parents agreed. And from then, she was doing a chocolate business, and now she's a fully grown adult woman, been out of school for about 10 years now, and she's now doing this full time as a business. And so once you give children an opportunity and the support to start tapping into this side of their brains early, you never know where it's going to take them and where they're going to land. So Laquelle Bodie is one of those people who we could say is a representative here in Grand Bahama, who has started this kind of work early, and now this is taking her to where she is now. And she's developed a craft. She's taken the time to go and study and do courses and training courses to be at the level she's at now, even though she started when she was just about 14 or 15. So quickly, because I don't want to go too far over time, I don't know if anyone has any questions about the calendar, but I just want to point out some things. Now, we have this program broken up into 3 parts. The first part is the online course, which in this, the students are expected to view the courses, view the videos before and during the mentorship check-in. So we have check marks at places that they're supposed to be at certain dates so that they can keep up, and so that we can make sure that as they're coming up with their ideas, once they meet us in person, beginning on July 9th, that we know how to guide them in the right direction. And so the goal is that between then and mentorship checkup, they would already know what they want to do, and they'll have something that is able to be presented for the pop-up and the expo. So it may not be their forever business, but we want them to have something that they could launch so that they could get the experience. And those 2 sessions are mandatory. So we know we have students who are doing the summer programs. They're doing other clubs. They have other things, summer school and what's not. Once they do the online course and the mentorship check-in, which is a nightly, 2 nights a week for 2 weeks, then they are eligible to participate in the pop-up shop. The boot camp itself is a full week activities that they do during the day. during the last week, but that part is optional. That part won't affect their ability to participate in the pop-up shop. So we've had students that have done that over the years. And I want to proudly introduce or let you know about our new training partners that have come on board this year. I am so excited because this is the first time we've had this many new people come on. So we have Laverne Gardner of HACES, Empowerment and Resource Center for Women. She's going to be assisting with mentoring, but she's also going to be assisting with creating a follow-up program for the mothers, I call it Boss Club Moms, to be able to get this information at their level to help them to progress in their businesses. And then we have Young Money Solutions. Hey, Brian, we just met like last week and we've been on it, just making sure that kids have access to financial literacy. Like, don't just make this money and spend it. I was so happy to hear Robin say that that was something she learned about tracking your money and not spending it aimlessly. So we're doing something right. But Brian and his team at Young Money Solutions, they are going to put like the icing on the cake, and they have other things in their program that students could participate in after the fact to get that deep knowledge. And then we have the Brandon Hall of Arbitrary Marketing. He is the billboard guy, and he is coming on board as a mentor as well. So he has his own story, and once we get into the program, you'll hear more from him about his story and what he went through to get those nice, pretty big digital billboards up in Grand Bahama. He'll tell his story. And then finally, we have the National Training Agency, who has agreed to come on board to teach the soft skills. So that's your customer service, that's your department, that's your communication skills and all those things. And so this like bigger than ever before, and we know this is going to be a huge thing moving forward. And so these are some highlights also for this year. So I was happened to be at the Garden of the Groves, and she was like, why don't you bring your students here? I could teach them about creating a tourism product, introduce them to that idea. So creating a tourism product is something we're going to focus on more in depth next year, because this year our goal is to focus more on financial literacy and digital literacy. But we're going to have a field trip on, I'm just waiting for her to get back to me on the date that we'll be able to do that. But that would be for when we get to the day camp part. And then some special guests we have the police force that's going to be, that have been invited to come in and speak about online safety. We know it's a big thing, scamming, people doing some weird things out there. And we want you as the parents to know what you need to be aware of so that your kids don't put themselves in harm's way. And then we're also talking to a local bank. So I don't want to say too much because I haven't confirmed yet, but we are in talks with a local bank to be able to offer bank opening services on site during pop-up shop for just $25. And so everything that Brian is teaching you, we want you to be able to, parents, you will have to be the ones to open up the bank account, but you can put your child on it so that they could get in the habit of saving. And so these are some of the questions that we normally have. So I'll just run through them right quick. And like I said, if you have additional questions, feel free to drop those in the chat, or you can wait and ask. But cost considerations, general registration is free. If you qualify or you sign up for the pop-up shop, then you pay $15. That would be your vendor fee. Other cost considerations you need to keep in mind is, what is it going to cost you to buy the materials that you need to set up? So we have been giving people ideas for things that they could do for little to no money. But then you have other ones who have maybe more access to more resources and they could do more. So regardless of what your financial situation is, you don't have to count yourself out because you have ways around that for helping people. In the past, we've been able to sponsor 1 or 2 students with startup materials they needed for that. Program format, we talked about that. We start with the online course. You keep up with that while you're doing mentorship. And then we have the camp, and then we have the pop-up shop. Age restrictions. We allow students who are just going into 7th grade to join, but the parents get to decide if they feel like their child is mature enough to handle the content and to handle the pace of it. And then if you were just graduating from high school this year, you also are able to join. This would be your last year of eligibility. Scheduling conflicts, like I said, okay, I'm being told that I'm going too fast. That's how I get when I get excited. So if you need me to go back over anything in particular, please let me know. So I'll slow down. As for scheduling conflicts, if you have maybe travel arrangements that you've already made, but you are able to keep up with the online part and you are able to check in with a mentor, we could talk to you one-on-one to assess your situation. But like I said, the boot camp is not mandatory, but if you are traveling or you have work or other commitments that may be conflicting with some of the other parts of it, let us know and we'll help you to see how you could catch up if you want to or if it's feasible to do so. And then overall benefits. One of the things someone asked me before is what's the difference between Boss Club and J8? The difference between Boss Club and J8 is just basically the method, right? We're teaching solo entrepreneurship. We're teaching you individually how to come up with an idea, how to problem solve and all of that. JA normally does it in a way it's more group oriented. So it's basically the same thing, but they are not competing, and we in no way encourage people to choose one or the other. We say do all of them. As many of these types of programs your kids can do, you can do all of them, because you never know what information and what connections you're going to be making in the future. And something that unexpectedly happened last year, I went live during the pop-up, just walking around the room. And someone that I know who's in Canada reached out to me to say, how can I support? They told me what they wanted to do. They told me what type of student they were looking for. I passed the information on. That parent got that child's school fee paid for the first semester. And that was unplanned, unscripted. And we had nothing to do with how that turned out. But you never know who your kids are meeting. Like I said, some of the kids met a movie producer and ended up in film. They on movies that are getting ready to be released. Like how incredible is that? So you never know what's going to come about, but we do our best to introduce the students to quality people who we know are going to give them something that's going to last a lifetime and not just something to pass the time in the summer. All right. And so I want to encourage as many of you who have not maybe registered as yet to register. You could register at bossclubbahamas.com. The link has been dropped in the chat to access the registration link. But also, if you have access to students, please, please, please share this information with them so that we could get the word out. Because what happens a lot of times is that sometimes people hear about it after it's already on the news, and that's too late. And then they wish they had a chance to participate. What we are doing is we don't want anybody to be left out. This is not a social club. This is not a country club. This is not something that we have just for people who maybe have access to funds or not. Because the beauty about entrepreneurship is whether or not your child is athletically inclined, whether or not they are academically inclined, whether or not they have some special skills and abilities that you think they have versus someone else, entrepreneurship is an open game. It's accessible to everyone. The reality of it is not everyone is going to get to go to college. That's sad. Your good basketball playing child may not make it to any leagues or anything like that. And so we want them to have access to opportunities. That's how we're going to make Grand Bahama grand again. That's how we are going to make the Bahamas again. That's how we're going to keep your kids' faces off of the news for being wanted by the police for anything like that. And so that is the end of my presentation. We are just 3 minutes over time. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I don't know if Brian or Laverne or anyone wants to jump in and say something that I may have missed that you feel is beneficial, or introduce yourself, but you can feel free to do so.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Shamia. I am so excited to just be a part of this program in any way. My name is Laverne Gardner. I am the founder of HACES, Empowerment and Resource Center for Women. And what that is we are building a space to highlight, motivate, educate, and uplift women. And to just see that we are starting this initiative, not just with girls, but with young men as well. I am excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to be able to pour into young people and into their parents in any way possible. And I think that this is an excellent program. And I want to encourage every student, every young person who is on here to don't let this be the best told secret. encourage your friends to seize this opportunity. And so I'm looking forward to this program and everything that's going to come out of it. And again, Shami, I want to thank you so much for giving me the privilege to be a part of such a wonderful program. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Laverne.
Hey, good night, everybody. This is Brian Ferguson from Your Money Solutions. Definitely appreciate you, Shamia, for inviting us to be a part of this organization and this initiative, and definitely looking forward to helping, empower our next generation. I used to be a member of the JA as well, and I would say the difference between this and that is that this is Bahamian grown, and you shouldn't choose between one another, like she said, but this definitely is Bahamian grown, and because I'm a little bit biased to say that this one could be better. So definitely register. Again, like Shamia said, you never know who you're going to meet in the program. You never know how the people that you're going to be mentored by can help you in the future, and just really be inspired. So definitely looking forward to it, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
All right, Brandon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brandon Hall, owner of Avatar Marketing. I own the largest billboard here in Freeport, located at Mall Drive and Sadler's Way, heading towards the airport. I am excited a part of this group. Myself, I am a full-time entrepreneur, but I didn't start that way. So I had two businesses in the past, and I actually started in high school. I always love entrepreneurship, and though some of you kids may be going off to college, this is a great program because entrepreneurship may still be in their vision. And I say that because I went off to university, I got my degree, my job, my dream job actually was at Pharmachem. I was employed there for 8 years, and as you all may know, Pharmachem closed. So the importance of entrepreneurship is always there because you could start off in your career field and then you could venture off into something different. So me, myself, I'm a full-time entrepreneur now and will continue to be that way. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you, your kids, and embracing the information I have to share.
Thank you so much, Brandon. I don't see any questions, so hopefully that means I explained everything clear as crystal instead of clear as mud. Or maybe you're gonna be emailing me later on with a specific question. But that is all I have for tonight. Anyone else is free to ask a question or make a comment. But listen, I am so excited. Listen, usually we doing a lot of lives these days, and you hear I'm so excited all the time, right? It's almost like you're supposed to say that, but I am so excited. Okay, it's the truth. If I find another word, or if you have another word I could use, so it doesn't sound cliche, let me know. Because I don't want you to think I'm just saying this because I'm looking for something to do. There's a lot of other things I could be doing than this right now. But I realize that when we work together, when we partner together, when we give the people, the generation that's coming up behind us a good head start, everything is better. We wouldn't have to be worrying about, what's happening in the economy so much if all of us could put our hands together to make it better. So that is all I have to say for this evening. And if there are no questions, no comments, then we are free to go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.